So, good day, everyone, and welcome to our live webinar, Step Up and Start Your Financial Organization's Digitization Initiative. This webinar is brought to you by TechOne Global and Enadoc. Digitization of vital records should be a top concern for BFSI. Before you choose a document scanning service to help you transition from paper based to digital record storage, there are many things to consider. Join our expert speakers' engaging session filled with valuable insights and meaningful exchanges on how a financial organization can start their digitization initiative to ensure data security and efficiency and be compliance ready. This is Mimi Navarro, your session's host. Now, before we start, we also love to hear from you. If you have questions about our speakers, we encourage you to place them in our chat room and we will address that during the Q&A. So without further ado, let us kickstart the fireside chat with our speakers. Our first speaker is Mr. Lars Jeppesen, CEO and co-founder of TechOne Global and Enadoc, who is a passionate IT entrepreneur and business adventurer, a guerrilla marketer, globetrotter, vegan, cook, and a professional photographer. Lars comes with a wealth of certifications and hands-on expertise in enterprise content management and has been at the forefront of the global business outsource scanning services and managed services division of TechOne Global. He is a dynamic and results driven leader with 16 plus years of experience in technology transformation. He is passionate and an advocate of digital transformation to empower local businesses to the next level of growth. Our next speaker is Boss Wasanta Wirokuni, who is the Chief Operating Officer and co-founder of TechOne Global in Enadoc, and is currently working on a content services platform to support small to medium businesses to join the fourth industrial revolution. Some cool technologies such as blockchain for virgin digital artifacts, AI, com channels, and cognitive computing have been taken his attention, where we could build awesome social structures that reach the end of our society and enable them to be part of the bigger picture. Lastly, we have Sudish Shrista. He is the head of BPO operations for TechOne Nepal. He has over 16 years of experience in different sectors in Nepal and in Doha, Qatar combined. He has 10 plus years of experience in record management and BPO end-to-end services. And with an experience in conducting projects all over Nepal throughout all seven provinces, leading a team of 100 plus staff all over Nepal in different provinces as well. So, speakers, are we ready to start our fireside chat?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay. So I have some set of questions for our speaker. So let's start with Boss Wasanta. So Boss Wasanta, given the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, at the same time the nature of the BFSI industry, what are the pressing or significant challenges that the BFSI institution currently face when it comes to documentation or file management?
Thank you, Mimi. Good morning and good afternoon to from different parts of the world who are joining from different parts. And okay, it's an interesting question, Mimi, because BFSI or banking and financial services industry is heavily dependent on paper because paper I mean if I myself and Lars, we are almost uh, 35 years in this industry. And we started this industry when you're into document management, we call it paperless office. That was a dream. Um, but till recent past, I don't think that dream ever came true because we churn more and more paper out every day, right? We work with paper, and especially in the financial industry, agreements, forms, everything still are very much in paper. So the pandemic actually started. There's always a joke. Who did the digital transformation? The pandemic. But the pandemic. Made us made us to work actually not from office. It forced us, so that actually forced all the organizations to look at how to unplug their employees from the existing seat and put them anywhere and make them to work. I think BFSI face this in a much more in a stronger way, because there's one primary criteria for any financial institution is it is the security. So with having to have a secure network and having to have a secure way of having people to work from anywhere is a very a challenging situation for every, I think, every organization who has never thought about this one before. Then on the top, even if you, because you may be able to move your core banking solutions or core functional or business applications to work from remotely using the technologies that is available today, but there is still a missing piece, because most of the decisions are being made using, it's a hybrid mode, using our physical paper as well as on the decision making systems on the back end. So how can we unplug employees from their existing seats and take them anywhere and work remotely? So this is, I think, one of the biggest challenges for many organizations to perform as the way they were expecting to perform, on a normal working environment. However, that is not the only thing. I think we'll be talking about this more. So let me start by saying um, the challenge was for many organizations, not only for the financial industry, but for many organizations, is being able to uh, unplug their employees from their seats and let them work from anywhere. Okay.
Yep. Okay. Thank you
Yeah,
so much, Boss Basanta. But yeah, correct, Boss
yeah,
Basanta.
maybe I can just, since this is a fireside chat,
Yeah. Yes, boss.
we don't have any fires right now, at least around here. But I just want to add some comments here. So sorry, I'm last, just in case because I got not introduced right now. But I just have a few comments. Actually, when we talk about the dream of paperless, right? I mean, as Vasanta was mentioning, we go back, decades, and as digital technology have become more and more mainstream, it was like the paperless dream was becoming a reality for many type of organizations. And I think for the banking sector, the reality has been that consumer banking and to some extent corporate banking has been digitized, that you can do your banking transactions from anywhere, from your mobile or from your computer, without the need to go to a branch. But the rest of the banking environment, it went from a paperless dream to a paper nightmare when the reality of a global pandemic, and now maybe to some extent also the fuel crisis, either force or encourage more people to work from home. And when you work from home, you don't have access to those documents. So that's really where the probably the dream became kind of a nightmare. Is how do we solve that issue? And now that we are kind of to a certain extent put the pandemic behind us, now is the time to make sure that we don't relive that nightmare again. That we get ready for that kind of new type of working. You have probably seen that many organizations are now facing challenges getting their employees back to the office. They want to work from home if they can, and organizations that can adapt to a hybrid workplace are more likely to be attracting the top talent. The other issue that we have seen is which is part of what Vasanta said as well, is the globalization of the economy. World Bank and other IMF and other organizations that are supporting economies worldwide have become more and more strict in terms of implementing anti-corruption practices, which means that in many countries, keeping a digital copy of your KYC documents and account opening forms and things has become mandatory. So there are two main reasons why organizations need to go paperless now. One is to continue to be able to offer a hybrid workplace and work remotely, work from anywhere, and the other one is to be compliant with international standards. And I think that's very important to add to this introduction. So that was my comment. Back to you, Mimi.
Thanks, boss. Boss, you were mentioning earlier about some nightmares that we are encountering when it comes to digitization. So, I would just like you to fully elaborate with this one by telling to our audience what are the possible risks that businesses can encounter on document management and paper files if they do not act now, if they do not digitize now.
Well, I think we have this kind of notion in life across many privately and in business that some problems, if we kind of leave them alone, they will go away. And of course, most of the time it happens to be not true. If you have an illness and you don't take medical advice, chances are it's going to get worse than better. And the same thing for our situation around document management. If the organization is depending on physical paper to do any part of the business process, then that physical paper need to be stored somewhere for some time to be able to support transactions and to be able to support the compliance of that organization. And it's piling up. It's out of control, and that risk of with a fire or with an earthquake. We saw our own situation in Nepal earthquake some years ago, where organizations that had not scanned their documents had to send employees into buildings that was in at risk of collapsing to retrieve important business documents. So we are risking our life to get that document out, that piece of information that was needed. Whereof, if it has been digitized, we could have accessed it digitally, and we could have maybe retrieved the original document whenever buildings had been secure and ready. And we saw that happening across the valley that was mostly hit by this incident. And uh, by the way, our Vasanta was landing, and flight was diverted to I forgot, somewhere in India, and our chairman. Rakesh Wahi had just landed, and he was sitting outside the airport waiting for his transportation. So we have this experience very close to us. We have seen what happened during that time, and so fires, earthquake, typhoons, weather problems happens, and the paperless dream then become translated into the paper nightmare, and there's a way to avoid that. Um, I think that's really the essence of the challenge.
Okay, Postars, this is still for you. So now we identify the challenges and also the possible risk if we are not digitizing now. What could be your advice to the BFSI institution who wants to start their digitization initiative?
Yeah, a part of the challenge we have, of course, is that nobody in the decision making process really have a visibility to what our document storage look like, because normally it's something done very, very far down the organizational level, and maybe remotely because of cost and so on. So people are not really aware of the challenge they have. So the first thing you should do, if you are in charge of even the highest level of an organization, saying, okay, compliance is a part of my responsibility. I'm the chairman, I'm the CEO. I want to have a field trip. I want to see how we manage this part of the business. And while we're at it, I can look at how do we back up our servers, and how do we manage all kind of contingencies that are put in place to make sure the organization can run. So the first thing I would do is that I would make sure that we take an active role. It doesn't have to be projects run by the chairman or the CEO, but this is something that is related to the critical part of running an institution, a financial institution. So it should be mission critical. It should be on the agenda. This project should be sponsored at the highest level. So that's the first thing. The other thing is that it is not just like you get a shovel and then you shovel the documents into another place. It is a professional work that has to be done, and it cannot just be done by anybody, because most of the time what happens is that you only get one chance to digitize your document. You're not going to digitize them twice. You digitize them once, and then you put the documents in a specific place far away from any risk. And now your day-to-day work is depending on the digitized document. So they need to be clean, they need to be readable, they need to be printable. If you have somebody requesting a document, it should be like you have taken a clean photocopy of the original, and it needs to be ready in the system to be found at the right time. If you scan everything and put it in one physical drive or something like this, you'll never be able to find anything again anyway. So you need to have an end-to-end approach to this. And luckily today, this is not it's not so difficult, because there are international standards. Like, we follow all the international standards in our operation. We have scanned billions of documents, billions of pages, and we have experience in this. And it's we are right there to help. So it's not something so difficult. I mean, you don't need to invent anything. It's just a matter of picking up the phone or sending an email, and then we can help you to structure this. It's not so complicated, but unfortunately, the priority is very often in a different place. And this scanning job, the document capture job, becomes like oh, we just have to get it done as cheap as possible by whoever shows up with the lowest offer, without looking at this as a part of the solution. It's a part of the solution for the future. Digitizing your documents is the first step of the digital transformation, and therefore, you cannot build a house with substandard cement, even though you have the best bricks. If you put a substandard cement in between, the building will collapse, right? So the same thing here. You need to have a top quality standardized document scanning, capture, and indexing to be able to go forward in your digital transformation process. And the premium is not even anything much. The difference between the lowest bidder and the bidder that comes out of this with the quality is not substantial to take that risk. So that's my take on that, Mimi.
Can I also make some comments on that one, Lars?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we call documents are actually the scan images are the cholesterol of your network, right? We have been seeing many times, many times, organizations who have not paid attention early enough to the digitization process have had file sizes of 10, 20 times of the standard ISO certified process. So with that, what happens is many organizations run out of storage and their network bandwidth. And so it's very, very important to understand, to get the images right, as Lars was repeating. Image should be reproducible, it should be readable, but also it should not stop your network working because of the size of the file. So you need to make sure that the documents are being digitized in a way that it can be really in the optimized file sizes. So you will have efficient delivery mechanism, because efficient delivery, because every time you wanted to open a file, view the file, it has to come through from your storage to your desktop or the machine via the network. So if you're not paid attention to this, you will have massive problems later on into managing that one. So that's a very important factor.
Yeah, we have seen because of course with Enadoc we also manage the final output. That means the complete document management process for many companies, and we know the difference between organizations where we do the scanning or where they do the scanning themselves. And typically, the number of documents that we put in the same storage is maybe between 5 and 10 times. So it's not just a little bit different. The technology to capture, to reduce image size and so on is a science and an art, and our technology and our team is used to that. So eventually, it's not only your network, but one of these days you are going to migrate from one system to another system, or you might have to reinstall a backup, or if you are on cloud, you have to pay for the cloud service. So it's just a matter of realizing that there is value in that part of the process as well. And typically, the more you reduce the image size, the worse the quality. So to do that and still retain the highest quality is a very challenging situation or craft that we have fine-tuned over the years, with the billions of documents that we have been scanning in all. We are not a local scanning operation in Nepal only. We are local in Nepal, but we are backed by our international experience. We have scanning operations in the whole region, in Sri Lanka, in Bangladesh, in Philippines, in Brunei, in Maldives, all the other countries where we operate, we have scanning operations. So it's something that we know a thing or two about.
I
Thank
would
you.
also like to add regarding this, because since we are talking about sizes in Nepal, when going through different organizations and our customers, and not our customers also, when we are going for the observation and all, we have been finding out that mostly in Nepal, where they are digitizing by themselves or any other vendors locally they have hired and done the process, the size of the documents are very high. And we have been even getting customers like coming back to TechOne and saying that they want to reduce the size. It's getting problems in the latency, retrieval problem, and if there are interbranchial transactions need to be done when they need to send email, downloading problems, so internet problems. So these things were there. So they are requesting, these customers are requesting us to compress their documents so that they can manage it properly. So this is a very big challenge in Nepal,
Yes.
and people need to understand this thing that only digitizing, scanning the documents and keeping in folders with high image size, just thinking that it's stored and it can be used and retrieved in future through the folders, is completely different as compared to what the document management system really provides. So these things need to be understood very well, since we have like a good audience from the Nepalese BFSIs and other organization side. So this is it.
Yeah, one key thing that you mentioned there is that all of the time that we engage with a client on this, we will always ask you to see the physical documents. We will want to go and see how the documents, the quality of the document, the shape. I mean, the shape in the terms, how deteriorated it might have been from the storage, to be able to come with the right proposal. It's like you need to have a certain view of what the problem look like before you can prescribe the solution, and so we always start with that. It's impossible to just reply to a tender. I think that's something very important that you need to realize. If you are in charge of a project like this, you should demand that every vendor do a site visit first, because otherwise you will not get a realistic, quotation, and the quality that you will get will not be up to the specs as well. So that's very important point that you made there.
Yes, boss. Also, POC, if they could conduct to show and get the confidence of the customer regarding what they need, right?
Yes, exactly. All right, Mimi, you have some more questions, I'm sure.
Yes, boss. Okay. So this one, I'm going back to Boss Basanta. So, Boss Basanta, we identified the challenges and the risks, and Boss Lars, together with all of you, actually enumerated some steps that the BFSI can consider when it comes to digitization. But Boss Lars also mentioned that digitization is not for anybody. It's not going to be that easy. And they need someone or a partner to do that with them. So, with that, in having the right partner when it comes to digitization, what are the key things to keep in mind in the selection process? This is a fireside chat. This is dedicated for Boss Wasanta. But then again, if you want to support the question with your answers, please feel free to do so, bosses. In having the right partner when it comes to digitization, what are the key things to keep in mind in the selection process?
When you select a business partner, you need to do a proper, first of all, you need to put your standards that you want to review. Any vendor who comes in should have experience. They should have experience in a similar project, similar type of project in a similar location with a similar volume. And it might not be that they have a local experience, but as an organization, they need to have the experience. So I think that is really the one of the most important part of it. Then you need to make sure that they use the right technology, that the hardware and the software that they're using is latest version, and also is compliant, that they have software licenses, that they're not using pirated software, that they're using proper tools in the process, and also that their labor situation is sorted out, that they have employees with proper contracts, with proper training, with proper compliance, to all this. Because at the end of the day, this organization is going to be a subcontractor to your organization, and need to follow similar structure and guidelines that you will have for the rest of organization. So in terms of software and hardware. Software makes sure that the software is the latest and the highest, standard, and the latest release, and properly licensed. The hardware should be the technology which is, up to date, and equipment has been properly maintained and functioning well. And in terms of the employees, they should be properly trained and properly managed, and that becomes like a complete package that you should look at. I don't know if Vasanta is with us and have anything to add, or Sudesh, you have anything to add on this?
Yes, boss. Adding up to what you have mentioned regarding the hardwares and softwares, because I'm from Nepal itself, so we have been experiencing scenario in Nepal. So I would like to describe some of it, right? So what people and organization we have been facing here have been doing is they are getting like flat pretty scanners, which we can get very cheap in the Nepalese
Yes.
market. Plus, we have like we can get like in Android and in iOS even we can get softwares like cam scanner and different other type of scanning software. So these people, some people are just doing from these scanning through mobile phones and using these flatbed normal scanners and generating eye images. So what I would like to request and pass an information to the Nepalese market and to the stakeholders is when choosing the vendor, please choose like who have the better experience, who have done same particular kind of project into such sector as well, and who has the latest technology, ignored flatbed manual scanning and cell phone picture scanning and all. The documents which are getting scanned should be processed through a standardized ISO certified process, and different other things which they need to consider before selecting a vendor. Because just because scanning does not mean just taking a picture and storing it just to get it retrieval for future. So these things need to be kept in considered before choosing any vendor for this type of projects.
Oh, extremely sorry. I had it's heavy rains over here with, lightning, and, we had an intermittent power failure. So, got tripped. Sorry for that. But I think, with two of you would have answered this question better than me, lastly having there. So thank you so much for, picking up that end. I could not hear what you've been talking. So, I'm not trying to add anything, but I will, I will just apologize, for getting disconnected.
Yeah, I just wanted to add a little bit here, because even in terms of choosing the right software, because what Sudesh is saying here is, that some of our competitors might be using mobile devices. And I don't know if you are thinking about the danger of using mobile devices, leaking your documents and data outside your organization. So what is also your safety for the quality of the documents in terms of, security of the document, that information does not leak out? I can tell you, for example, in our software that we use to do the data entry operator will only see one type of field. They will not see the, first the account number, then the date, then the person's name, then the person's address. They will only see names. They will only see account numbers. So we split the data to different operators to ensure that the confidentiality is there. But in terms of the capture software, we will even use different type of capture software depending at what is the required job, and different type of scanners. Some scanners, for example, we do have production level scanners that we use to scan business documents. But if the documents are A0 or books, we have a different type of engineering drawing scanners, and we have book scanners. We have the right technology for the job. That's very important to ensure the quality of the images, the image size, and also the work conditions for the employees who work in this operation, that their health and safety standard is also important. Somebody sitting and opening and closing and opening and closing a flatbed scanner, 8 hours per day. You can imagine how that will be, for somebody who's working week in and week out on this kind of jobs. It's not a ergonomic way of working. So with our experience, our technology, and our process, we can ensure the best outcome for everybody. That's really, I think, the key message here. So Mimi.
Thank you so much, bosses. Let me just remind our audience that we will entertain your questions during our Q&A part, or you may also start placing your questions in our chat room. So I still have two more questions right now, mainly for Sudesh. So Sudesh, how can partners like Tech One Nepal help financial organizations with their digitization initiatives?
Thank you for the question, Mimi. Good afternoon, everyone, my audiences, my boss, my colleagues. So, to begin with, the term scanning of document and digitization is a complete different concept of work. I'm saying this because there are a lot of things which is happening in Nepalese market, and when we are going to the customer, we are getting a different kind of feedback. So, a person or an organization who is scanning just a small amount of documents, and a company which is doing a full-phase digitization file facility using systematic process, high-end processing scanners, and implementing proper document management systems are different. In Nepal, still that change of importance for the physical archiving as well as digitizing document is valued only in the time when it's needed, like if it's legal, if someone needs to get a nomination or something like that. So when they need to use and they have the requirement to get that physical document, that time only that this importance is coming into the picture. So a basic concept of just scanning of documents and is compared with a full phase digitization project was in assumptions of many of our customers, but we were able to change that concept wherever we provided our services. But it still exists in a lot of organizations and a lot of people, which we are planning to change, and we are making the awareness also. So it's been a quite while since people and organizations have started to realize the benefits of digitization, which has been bringing stable and positive changes in Nepal, and the needs of digitization and proper physical archiving facility, mainly after the pandemic hit. Because before that, we were creating awareness, we are going to customers, we are convincing them, we are asking them to do the project and all. But after pandemic, we are getting responses like people, they want us to to approach and suggest them what needs to be done. They wanted us to like consult for what how the document should be managed and all. So we as Step One have been creating awareness among different organizations and officials regarding the importance of digitizing process and physical archiving facilities on how they can get the ROI from their services using a proper document management system. So Tekwan Nepal, as of now, we are 7 years running for the BPO operation, not for Microsoft and all, but for only the BPO operation, we have been running now. This is 7 year. Our 7th year is running, and we have been providing our services in government, ministries, municipalities, banks, hospital, public libraries, and many more. We almost 18 plus organizations we have already digitized, and we have implemented document management system as well as given them the proper archiving facility as well. So we have a very well history of getting the projects, but not we have a very well history of not just getting the projects, but completing it as well. So to support such a statement, we even ask our possible new customers to go and visit to the organization and meet the personals and stakeholders who have been benefiting from our services. So we are even recommending them to get feedbacks from wherever we provided our services and choose or decide accordingly. So regarding the initiatives for any financial organization, TechOne can help with beginning through a proper requirement gathering, which is very crucial for starting any digitization project. As before, boss last said, we need to go there, we need to see the document, how it's kept, how it's managed, what is the process they are following. So this requirement gathering needs to be done very nicely, and we even provide them consultancy for what they need to do, what needs to be done, along with proper project plans and targets, which gives the customer confidence and creates the adaptability to change with the system implementation, which is very necessary for any project. The process Take One Nepal follows from end to end not only benefits the customers, but also creates a transparent environment for the customers to see what's being done, what's happening, what needs to be done, and also how it's happening as well. Not only financial organization, but in various sectors, as I mentioned just before, Tekwan Nepal can guide proper solutions and effective ways to digitize customer documents with our certified professionals, high volume production level scanners, renowned capturing softwares, VRS correction mechanisms, multiple data entry system, ISO certified process, and consultancy services. We can help our customers to achieve the goal and vision of their expectations. So, our process, our machines, our expertise. So we can help them to initiate what they require, what they need, and what they are picturizing. So with our help and with working together, we can create a proper project plan and initiate and later complete it as well.
Yep.
Okay. So this,
So
Boss Rosanta, do you?
I can just add something a little bit on top of this. So of course, Sudeshi is backed by our global BPO operations team. Where we have expertise in terms of. So we have our own tools. We have developed over last 15, 20 years. We have been developing our own tools to to improve the quality of the work. And things such as that, even the data entry system, what Lars was talking about, we do have many different features such as blind data entry, and also auto suggestions and auto completion, data dictionaries, and all those things have been integrated into our solution. So we are also improving the efficiency of our own teams. So when we improve our efficiency, we are also passing that back to you with a good quality product at a much affordable prices. So that's how we have like over a billion pages we have already digitized. Actually 2 years back we passed the billion pages across our countries. Um, which is like 70 to 80 miles. If you stack that much of paper, that billion pages will be as tall as 70, 80, miles. high. So you can just imagine actually, how much paper we have already, digitized. And one the other most important factor is every time we digitize paper, we also save some trees getting cut down. And if you can move them to the digital format, because photocopying, moving, replicating, duplicating, all those things what you do, this is also can be reduced if you use a proper document imaging solution. So you can share the documents and people can access remotely without making copies. So I think it's there are multiple directions that we can look at, or multiple ways that we can think of the ROI, not only from efficiency but also from in terms of saving the world for the future generation as well. If you look at it, digitization and content management is actually helping in a much bigger way to the whole planet to survive. So we could say the it helps to the slow death of the planet. Yeah. So I think that's from my end.
Okay. Thank you so much, bosses. Now, this is the last question. Again for Sudesh, but all of their speakers can support the question. So, why Tech Manipal is the right partner when it comes to your digitization journey?
Okay, actually, for this, I have a small slide, just two slides. I would like to present it and elaborate more nicely to support my answers. So, Mimi, can you please? Shall I or okay? So, the first slide which I have is White Tech one. Okay, so first among the slide, first is we have 20 years plus experience globally and 6 years plus experience in Nepal as well. That makes us obviously like a bit more experienced than as comparing to others. So we are handling ministry documents, we are handling banking documents. We have already completed projects for governments as well. So it obviously makes us like a good experience, and we can say that in confidence as well. So when we are talking about digitization in these different organizations, and what might our viewers and attendants might be expecting is only A4 node. We have in Nepal only. Outside globally, we have digitized almost all kind of papers. In Nepal only, we have digitized books. We have digitized registered. We have digitized A0 maps, A1 size map, big sizes Nepali papers, thumbsuks they call in government. So these all different type of papers we can digitize in different ways and with different technologies. So obviously the experience is there. And secondly, the process which we are using globally throughout our six uh, sister countries, I will say. So we are using the process which is ISO 9001 2015 certified. So this process teaches us how to go accordingly, thoroughly, and take care of the documents with giving a proper solution and service to meet the compliance requirement of our customers. So thirdly, we have CDIA certified professional, which means certified document imaging architects, where we get trained on how to handle your documents, what the document sizes should be, how the document management should perform in terms of after the BPO services, how physical archivings are done, kept like that. So these all training. So CDIA plus trained professionals are like they are certified. Like if a doctor is there, is a doctor gets an NMC number like that. So these people are certified with CDIA plus certification. So me myself, I am ISO 20700 2013 ISMS certified, which means where we get taught like how to information security, how it should be maintained while doing the physical process of these documents. What should be considered? What are the security reasons it should be considered while taking care of these documents? If digitized, how to keep it in folders? How it should not be exposed? So these things we get taught, and these things are the ways we handle our customer documents as well, because this is the way we got trained and this is how actually the process should be. So another point is in Nepal itself, we have already digitized 28 million documents in Nepal, in government, hospital, public libraries. I have banks, uh, and insurance companies, as I mentioned earlier. And on top of that, 1 billion plus, as mentioned by boss Vasanta and Lars, 1 billion plus documents we have already digitized globally. So that this is really going to support our confidence to our customers for like choosing a tech one regarding these digitizing services and BPO services with the document management system. So take one global Nepal BPO. So when it comes in terms of BPO, okay. Regarding the BPO services, it's not only scanning and indexing with data entry which we are doing. So these are the eight type of services which we are covering under our BPO services, which is scanning and indexing of your documents, document segregation services in Nepal, mostly government, these things are happening since they are keeping a lot of unwanted documents and unnecessary document with the duplication itself. It's happening in banks as well, which is taking a lot of space. A physical document means it requires a certain amount of space. So within certain amount of time, it's going to increase. So if we don't segregate and we don't sort which is important and duplicates as well, it's going to increase. And sometimes we have seen in our customers that they are keeping documents in lobbies because they don't have proper and enough space to archive their documents. So a proper document segregation services, data entry services, physical archiving. We are even consulting for physical archiving and even doing the arrangement itself. Physical archiving, file folder change services. This is like when files are kept in messed up condition and it's worse, it's getting teared. Like if water has been damaged the files, we are even changing the folder with index, with the inside index itself. So we are even providing the scanners after, let's say we did the backlog and digitize everything. We are providing scanners and training to our customers to maintain the day-to-day life documents as well. So a proper document management. We have our own proper document management system, which is Anadoc, and we even provide the trainings as well. And all on top of that, consultancy services. We even provide consultancy services to our customers regarding physical archiving, scanning solutions, digitization solution, and how to properly uh, maintain their document in and outs. So these are the eight type of services which we are providing from in Tech One Global. This is basically it. So thank you. Any questions I would like to take? Boss, do you have anything to add on this?
No, if there are any other questions from Mimi or Saima, we
Yep.
can.
This leads us to the next part of our discussion, boss, which is actually the Q&A part already. So if there are some attendees who wants to raise their questions or to join the discussion if possible, we can unmute you so you can also join the conversation. That's also possible. Just digitally raise your hands so we can unmute your mics, or you may also type your questions in our chat room. Okay, so we have a limited time, so we weren't able to answer your questions. But just in case you have questions to our speakers, we can respond that via email. So once again, thank you so much to our speakers, Boss Lars, Vasanta, and Sudish. Step up and start your financial organization's digitization initiative. Schedule a free business consultation now by sending us an email at aliana@tech1global.com. So we look forward to seeing you again at our next Tech1 Global and Microsoft events. So stay safe, stay healthy. Once again, this is Mimi Navarro. Have a good day, everyone, and thank you so much.